The Jazz Legacy of Irving Berlin. The interpreter is Sheila Jordan. She's currently on intermission at the Artist Quarter at 26th and Nicollet in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And here she performs Irving Berlin with Harvey Swartz featured on bass and Sheila being the voice and the horn. And Sheila, I want to say welcome in. It's good to touch base with you.
It's wonderful to see you again and talk to you.
Well, it's been a few years, hasn't it? A little water over the dam.
It sure has.
Sheila, you have recorded in this collection, Old Time Feeling, two important Irving Berlin songs. And you just might, since we lost this institution within the last 24 hours, describe what his music means to you.
Well, the thing that I loved about his music was the two particular tunes that are recorded on that album are minor tunes, and I love minor tunes. There's something about the minor sound that really gets to me. You know, it's sort of like you do a lot of wonderful things with minor tunes, and I don't know. She just had, I mean, the melody, just the melody speaks for itself. Of course, you know, I get into my own thing sometimes with the melody, but he writes such great melodies. I mean, he was just wonderful.
Well, you certainly didn't carelessly rewrite him in that performance. You were off doing some very intricate and complex things. What were you? What horn were you? Were you brass or reed?
I was Irving Berlin.
Oh, I see.
I was trying to be Irving Berlin lyrically, you know, like when I could be, and then just be myself. I mean, I do have that thing tagged on to me about sounding like a horn, but I don't really deliberately try to sound like a horn. It's just the way I sing. It's from years of listening to Charlie Parker, and I mean, so many of the great musicians play Irving Berlin and will. And I continue to do these wonderful musicians and lyricists and songwriters like Irving Berlin. I mean, because they're meaty, they're great tunes, you know. And until something better comes along, I'm very happy doing Irving Berlin.
Sheila Jordan, let's go back for a moment to the city of Detroit, a city that really isn't documented in books concerning jazz as it should be. What was the jazz life there in the 40s when you were around there?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I grew up with Tommy Flanagan and Kenny Burrell and Barry Harris. I mean, our hero at the time, our local hero, was Milt Jackson because he was off with Dizzy Gillespie. So we thought that was great. And then Wardell Gray came to live in town, a wonderful saxophone player. And it was just always happening. I mean, that's where I learned the music, was in Detroit, Michigan. And we had a lot of trouble sometimes with the racial prejudice, you know. It was hard living there. They had many, many race riots. But the music always came through. It always took care of me. I always found a way to be around the people that I wanted to be around and around the music. And, boy, I had a great time growing up there. I learned so much. It was thrilling. Thrilling to be in Detroit when the jazz was really happening.
And it was a catalyst for you.
It was fantastic. You know, I mean, that's where I first heard Bird. I first heard Charlie Parker in Detroit, Michigan at the Greystone Ballroom, you know, and then he worked at the Club Alcino where I couldn't get in because I wasn't old enough, but, you know, we would go back in the alley and he'd open up the doors. We were always chasing Bird, and then sometimes he'd come around to this place where you didn't have to be 21 to get in. They didn't sell alcohol. It was the Club Sudan, and you know, he'd come there and sit in, and oh God, what a thrill! I mean, Detroit was one. It's sad now for me to go back home. When I do go back to Detroit and see, you know, how the downtown section of Detroit is all sort of like a ghost town. It's all closed up and not much happening. But oh boy, it was wonderful when I was coming up.
Well, thank you, Sheila, for taking time to describe Detroit and the environment for you, and also to touch on Irving Berlin. I'd like to talk to you again after the set tonight, the last set, if you would join us.
Are you kidding? It would be my pleasure.
Well, I'll call you back.
Will you do that?
I surely will.
Well, I will be waiting.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks so much for including me on your wonderful program.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Sheila. Always to renew.
Bye-bye.
How many times a day do I think of you? How many...
we want to welcome in a former citizen of Michigan, Sheila Jordan. Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Fine on this early Sunday morning. How are you doing?
I'm a little tired, but, I feel inspired. It was very nice here at the Artist Quarter. A lot of good people came in, and a lot of nice singers, and it was just a nice evening.
You held a workshop this afternoon, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
What did
and
you...
it was very successful. I had about 20 singers.
What did you tell those singers?
Oh, I just gave them some of my pointers, and just sort of like tried to inspire them and encourage them, and told them some of the necessary tools, that they should be aware of when they're going to go out there and sing. Certain things that they need to know, things about lead sheets and counting time and just being honest and true to themselves, that kind of thing.
That is the second time I've heard
but,
a
it was
singer...
very successful, and they sang for me, and we sang together, and it was very inspiring. Can't do too much in 2 hours, but I think we accomplished a fair amount of questions and answers, so to speak.
It's the second time I've heard it within the last couple of months that...
Pardon me?
The second time in the last couple of months that I've heard that true to yourself principle. I think Margaret Whiting expressed that in an interview recently. And you might just describe that principle that you advise and counsel, the idea of being true to yourself.
Yeah, well, I think what happens is a lot of times young singers are afraid to express, their own special thing that they might have, and I try to encourage that. I try to bring out the natural sound, their own thing, as opposed to trying to sing like somebody else that they admire and idolize. I like to really get to what their sound is, to what they are, to the honesty of the music, to picking songs that they really enjoy singing, not because, they think it's going to be a hit or the people are going to love it better than, something that they might choose. I think it's important, in other words, that singers pick songs that they really enjoy singing. The workshop works along those lines. I mean, I've been working with singers now since about 1975, and what it basically is it's a performance workshop. And we work on repertoire, and we work on how you talk down a song, to musicians, so that they'll give you the best support. A lot of times singers are a little hesitant or a little shy. They don't really know how to express how they want to do a song. So I try to help them along those lines, and I just try to get them to sing and feel relaxed and, be true to what they want to sing.
Sheila Jordan, I know it's been a long day for you, and I thank you for expanding on what you did in the workshop this afternoon, which was held at Nokomis Park and that very special center. Who is the man behind that really is so inspiring in this territory?
Oh, Lawrence Hutera.
And he has been doing a lot of work in this area.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I mean, he really supports the music, and he goes out of his way to, the minute anybody comes into town, he goes out of his way to see that people come. He calls up different radio stations. He calls up different people. He brings his singers because he started the workshop. I met Lawrence a couple of years ago when I was doing Jazz in July at Amherst College, and it was great there because Max Roach was teaching there, Ted Dunbar, a lot of great musicians up there teaching for those 2 weeks. And Lawrence came to take that workshop with me, and some of my ideas that I'd laid on him he brought back, and so he's been working with the singers here in Minneapolis. But he's a good guy. He's very supportive of the music.
And you are too.
Thank you.
Good talking with you again,
You too,
Sheila
and
Jordan.
I hope I see you again soon, and it won't be so many years.
Yes, we should keep in touch.
Yeah, we really should.
All right, Sheila Jordan.
I'll say hello to New York for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
A lot of water over the dam.
Yes, you bet. Bye-bye, Leigh. Thanks a lot, and lots of good luck on your program.
Thank you.